I think if I hear you call me Becky one more time, six-pack, I'm gonna pop your tops. All six of them.
Who are you?
The danger, the daring, the challenge, the courage. Clash of the Titans. The risks, the rewards, the terror, the triumph. Clash of the Titans. The odyssey of the warrior Perseus. Through wonders no man has seen and horrors no man has faced. MGM presents Clash of the Titans. Rated PG.
Starts Friday at the Century 25 Man's Birdcage Walk, Sacramento Drive-In, Stockton Royal.
Hey, this is Matt once again. We're about to another review, and this is a review for Lucas, and it's for the 1981 original Clash of the Titans. Now, this is a PayPal request. Thank you so much for that. If anyone wants to request anything on Patreon or PayPal, feel free. You can join my Patreon, or you just send it directly to my PayPal. Both links are down below in the info box. It'll be a review, re-review, reaction, a thoughts on, topic, whatever. But Clash of the Titans, this is a movie that I've always enjoyed. I saw this back when I was a kid. I enjoy and love the stop motion by Ray Harryhausen. He's very talented, and I've said this multiple times. I'm a sucker for stop motion because it's physicality, but at the same time it's not real because it doesn't move naturally. But at the same time, there's a certain charm because even though technically it's not real, it's not moving naturally, there's still a physicality to it that makes it interesting, unique compared to just regular animation. And there's quite a few of stop motion bits in here that I would assume a young kid of today, they would see this film and they would be like, what the fuck is this shit? Where's the CGI? There wasn't CGI in 1981, but you know, and if that's the case, that's cool. There's the 2010 Clash of the Titans, which I don't mind that film. I actually don't mind. Wrath of the Titans, not so much, but I don't know if younger people would really give a shit about stop motion. They'd probably think, oh, it's cheesy, what the fuck is this shit? But I think there's a fun charm to this stuff, and the story is this woman and this baby. You find out the baby is the son of Zeus, the king of the gods, and this one guy put them in this big ass trunk and put them out to sea because you had Zeus fucked you and you had a baby fuck you and fuck off, and Zeus don't like that, you know, played by Laurence Olivier. And Zeus, you know, the shove a lightning bolt up your ass, Zeus, he don't like that shit, so it's like, release the Kraken. And it ain't a fucking shit, it ain't a fart, it's a fucking creature. Some pretty interesting way they did it, where they showed this underwater gate and some practical of it coming out, like its tail, but then you see some really nice stop motion of Ray Harryhausen's work as Argos falls, the city of Argos. And Zeus, he ain't having that shit. He gets the guy and crumbles. Because I like the bit where the gods are, they have all the people, but the little statues, the little figures. And so he grabs the figure of the asshole and crumbles him to dust. And so the guy, like, and he dies. Oh, that little bit there, I thought that was an interesting dynamic. And that's used a couple more times. There's like Maggie Smith, who I remember from Sister Act, among others. She's one of the gods as well. And she moves the hero from point A to point B, so it moves his statue, his little... I keep wanting to say action figures. That's what they look like, little action figures. Which I thought was different. It's not something I really see... I can't think of before or since seeing something like that. So it may seem a bit more unique. And this is a film that, despite it being PG or whatever, you get some nudity, you get some tits, because early on you see the woman having a baby suck on her nipple, and her ass with the kid walking along the beach. So you get a titty shot and an ass shot, and it's a PG movie. God bless the 80s. So pretty much the kid grows up and he is Perseus. And Maggie Smith, her son, because her son fucked up Zeus's flying horses, only Pegasus is left. He's pissed off at that, so he disfigures and he makes Maggie Smith's son deformed. Maggie Smith don't like that. It's like, oh Zeus, you don't fuck with me, I'm gonna move your son, move his action figure over to here, do something. And Zeus is like, oh, you don't do that? Okay, well fuck you, bitch. I'm gonna give him a helmet that makes him invisible, a sword that could hit anything, destroy anything, and a shield. So how you like them apples, bitch? They don't talk this way, but maybe if Kevin Smith wrote it, they talk that way, but the acting, Harry Hamlin, a lot of people give him flack. I thought he did fine for what he was supposed to do. Because of the era it takes place in, his acting to me is acceptable. You know, that grandiose, what is going on here? I don't know. What is this? This is a helmet. Must be the helmet of the gods. I just accept that because of the era it takes place in. I don't know, for some reason it just makes me think that they were taught that way. Granted, part of me is like, well, why? Why do I think they taught that way? Because I've seen that in a lot of other movies, so I just assume that. But, you know, a lot of people give Harry Hamlin some shit about his acting. I didn't mind it. I don't mind his acting at all. I thought for the role of the hero, trying to be that mythical tale of heroism and rescuing the girl and fighting the monsters and saving the day, that grandiose persona I thought worked. Although I do laugh and just picture, like, if you had other people in there, like if you had Sylvester Stallone, hey yo, where's Perseus? Where's Perseus? Oh yo, I don't know why the fuck I'm making Stallone sound like he's brain damaged. He's not. I mean, he's my favorite actor. Although he's made a lot of bullshit in recent years. I can't do impressions. I just picture like Arnold Schwarzenegger, or Van Damme was around, but I picture like if Jean-Claude Van Damme was around back then, he just fucking hurricane kicks monsters in the face. You know what? I would actually see that. I would love to see that. I'm sorry, that image just got in my head. I'm like, I wish Van Damme was in a monster movie and did that stuff. And it could be like a fun monster movie, a fun creature feature. That'll never happen. Anyway, my point is Harry Hamlin did fine. Burgess Meredith, who's a poet, joins him on the journey. I like the ideas in this. I like the imagination involved with this. Like when Harry Hamlin sees that this woman who deemed to be married by the right suitor, her spirit gets into this cage, and you have this stop motion giant vulture carry her spirit to the swamp, because the deformed son of Maggie Smith's god character, he sits there. And it's interesting how sometimes that character is stop motion and sometimes it's a person with makeup. I kind of wonder why they did that, because if they had the person in the suit and makeup, again, I'm surprised why they didn't just have him do the fight and action sequences. Because again, it seemed like, I guess with the makeup they only had maybe to the face. But I would assume like the bottom portion they would just made some other parts of the suit, or a suit. But at the same time, the stop motion was fun. It just made me kind of like, well, wait a minute. Sometimes he's real. Sometimes it cuts to stop motion. Like the horse makes sense when it's the wings and it's flying. That makes sense as to, you know, the up close of the face of the horse, that's real. But they even did that with the person as well. It's like, okay, they got some decent makeup on his face, but I guess the rest of his body they want to showcase more of certain features. But I'm a sucker for stop motion, so I'm fine with it. But yeah, you have like giant vultures tearing these cages with spirits in them. You got Pegasus, the white flying horse, which I love the idea of Pegasus. I love the idea of flying horses. And or other films, you got unicorns, and other films you got, I think of Crawl. You know, they got the horses and they're going so fast, the thunder's under their feet, the fire mares. Because, I don't know, when I think of a flying horse, that's synonymous with me with fantasy. And fantasy that I'm kind of like, okay. Because they're related to films I don't mind. Like, Legend I haven't seen forever. But I know that has a unicorn in it. Unicorn is more of a plot point in that. At least the fire mares, and at least here the horses really get to do shit. Now see, if in Legend, if the unicorn was stabbing people with its horn, like fuck you, you know, impaling them, was like the only bit in Cabin in the Woods I liked. That overrated fucking film, in my opinion. The only bit I liked was like, oh, a unicorn impaled someone. Awesome. Yeah, as superficial as that is. But I love all the usages of stop motion. And Perseus gets to do quite a bit of stuff. I mean, he gets to fight the deformed guy and, you know, cuts his hand off, or later on throws a sword and impales the motherfucker, fights these scorpions and cuts bits of it off and stabs it, riding with Pegasus against the Kraken. A lot of people hate the golden owl because at one point Zeus wants this other god, to send her actual owl. And she's like, no, I ain't sending my fucking actual owl. You build a golden fake owl. Boobo. A lot of people are annoyed by this thing. I thought it was cute. Because they make fun of that in the remake of Clash of Titans. This is one of the things I didn't care for, where they have it and then they junk it. Like, who wants this stupid thing? I don't think it's that bad. I think it looks cool. It's well done in the stop motion animation. Yeah, it has humor, but it's harmless humor where it's like cute humor. It was cute. It's not like it started talking and being annoying and irritating. It's not like it had fart and shit jokes. It's not like you had fucking Benny Hill music playing while it did a couple of goofy like slapstick things, but it was nothing egregious. I think it looked cool. It was helpful. It gets them to the Stygian blind witches, which is able to lead them to Medusa, which to me that's the best scene in the movie. So I always liked the Golden Owl. I never had a problem with him. Like I said, I liked the design. It was cute. They didn't ruin it by giving him human verbiage, or it wasn't like he was making a funny thing every 5 seconds. So I never really understood the big hoopla people had with that thing. I thought it was cute. I thought it worked fine in the story. I liked it. And other stop motion, I like the creature sort of wolf thing. It has two heads. And you're even able to stab it. You see a little bit of blood. The fight with Medusa, that's the best part for me of the film, where I thought it got some nice suspense where you can't look at it or you get turned to stone, so you have to avoid it and use the reflection. I like the look of Medusa. Again, I don't know how many times I have to repeat, Ray Harryhausen's stop motion effects are definitely the star of the film. They're the star of the movie. Because the other actors do fine. Like Laurence Olivier does fine. I'm sure he's in the same room pretty much saying a couple bits of dialogue, so probably took a couple days for him. Burgess Meredith, being a big fan of the Rocky films, nice to see him. It's Mickey. He doesn't do a whole lot, but it's nice to see him as part of the journey, giving some words of advice to Harry Hamlin's character. And it, yeah, it seems like Perseus gets to do a lot, and it goes at a good enough pace. And I like the score. I think the score is very well done. And God, I forgot who the hell did the score for this, but the score had that fun adventure quality to the proceedings, like joyful adventure, which you don't really get those kind of stuff nowadays. Or they try and have this over-the-top CGI that just, I don't know, doesn't have the charm to it. Laurence Rosenthal did the score. I thought he did a pretty good job. And try to think of like what other scores has he done. Mainly he would go on to do a lot of TV films. Oh, he did the music to the Young Indiana Jones Chronicles, that TV show. Yeah, it says mostly a lot of TV films. Damn, like all I'm seeing are TV films. Very rarely did he do a movie. That's too bad. He did the 1977 Island of Dr. Moreau. Or he did Meteor with Sean Connery. Oh, he did the score for Easy Money. That's cool. Yeah, mostly TV films after this. Well, he did a good job with the score, I'll say that. And you know what? I'm surprised there was no sequel to this, because it seemed like it was fairly successful at the box office. Because it grossed about 41 million in North America, worldwide gross of 70 million, cost between 9 to 15 million, give or take. So it was fairly successful. So I do wonder why there was never a sequel to this. I mean, there's a sequel to the remake, but never a sequel to this. I would have been interested to see a sequel to this. What further adventures of Perseus and Pegasus. I mean, I don't really have a lot of issues. If you're going in for characters, it doesn't really delve much into characters. Like it's very much of the old school simple hero. There's a girl, falls in love with a girl, save the girl. She's going to be sacrificed to the Kraken. I didn't find a way to kill the Kraken. Oh, this Medusa will help. Kill it, use it. Because of the technology at the time, when Perseus is riding Pegasus and they're at the Kraken, they're not able to do a whole lot. Like, of course, in the remake, they could do a lot more, where you see up close to the two of them riding in between the Kraken and going like under the arms and above the head and turn around in circle, maybe trying to cut it. I very highly doubt they could have done that at the time. Although I would have been interested to see them try. Just pretty much it's when Pegasus gets Perseus there, they're kind of in front of it, and then they get sort of swatted down to the water. So I wish there was a bit more to that scene. Like, even if Perseus was able to cut it like once or twice or something like that. But again, I think because of the limitations of the time period, they could not do a whole lot. I don't really have a lot of issues with it. I'm really trying to think. I think it's a fun film that, like I said, I can imagine people today watch this and thinking that the stop motion is very cheesy, very corny, very, oh, this is old. This is old. What people call, I call charming. And it's a fun film. It's a fun flick. And don't know what else to say. I'll just be repeating myself. So, quite enjoyable flick. With that said, thanks for watching. Take care. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.